Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Look, there are times in which people will pay 6, 7, 8, 9,000 or more dollars for services. I would love to see in the comments anybody's experience with this, when it makes sense, when it doesn't. I'm not here to bash anything. I'm here to kind of give actually a reason why you might want to pay for services and a reason why you would not. So please watch this through. You'll get some good information. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can do that by becoming a member. You can do that by going to the homepage. You'll see highlighted members there and a join button. Thank you so much to all you members. I really appreciate you. And thank you to all you subscribers. I really appreciate all of the support. The two asks are really hitting that thumbs up and letting the video run. That's what pushes this information out to more. So let's dive into it here. So the idea is paid veteran kind of consulting firms, for lack of a better way of putting it. So paid services to assist you with your claim, basically helping you to maybe get on the right track and give you the information you need to ensure that you yourself can file a successful claim with the VA. Now, there are going to be times where maybe that does make sense, and there will be a lot of times where it really doesn't make sense. And I'm going to give you two examples here. Now, look, they're all different. It's so nuanced. There's no real, I guess, regulation on it. It's kind of a supply and demand type of a thing. So commonly, you will see 5 times or 6 times the increase. So for example, if you went from $0 a month with the VA, you have no conditions, or maybe you have a 0%, and then you move from that to $1,000 a month, just for me to use easy math, they would say, okay, our increase is $1,000. We increased you $1,000. Now we need 5 or 6 times that amount. So that would be $5,000 or $6,000. So if somebody is, rated from 0 to 100%, well, then that's going to be very substantial, because if you're talking about $4,000 a month, again, just to use easy numbers, you're talking about 4, 8, 16, 20, 24,000 potentially in paid services. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about here is, when would that actually make sense to utilize? Now, again, there's so much nuance. Everybody's story is different. Everybody has different hurdles and so forth. I will say that in today's world, there is a ton of information, obviously, out there on platforms like this, even from paid service providers providing this type of information, which is helpful, right? Guiding you in the right way and so forth. You are absolutely able to file that claim yourself, or utilize a free service, which is great, and you should explore that. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why you may want to consider, and again, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. You need to decide on your own. So I'm just going to give a hypothetical kind of situation in which I could see or understand why somebody would pay $6, $7, $8, $9, $24,000, whatever it is, right? Number one, it's money that you haven't had yet, so it's got a different feel to it, right? It's like when you go to the casino and they say, hey, if you sign up to be a member, join our family member club, whatever, we'll give you $20 of free play, or whatever it is, right? So it's different when you're playing kind of with money that you haven't really seen yet, right? So there is kind of that aspect to it. However, it's still your money, and you could have used it somewhere else, right? So here's the thing, is the VA claims process is nuanced. It's filled with, forms. It can be overwhelming. Even watching these videos can sometimes be a bit daunting, especially for some individuals out there who maybe talk about the actual form numbers and the law and all of that stuff, right? So when you're hearing all of the jargon, it creates another level of hesitation or fear in going through that process. So for example, somebody who's spouting off a lot about maybe the 38 CFR and under diagnostic code X, and you need to make sure that you fill out your whatever, your 21. Let's see. 4138 for the explanation of your situation, and you need to make sure that you fill out the SF 180 and get your records, and and whatever. You get the point. It's a lot of stuff, and when you're hearing it in that way, sometimes it can kind of push somebody down the road of, I need help. Then to add on to that, what happens is you may call one of these free resources and they're booked out, or they don't have the ability to serve you right away, but you're kind of ready now. And you have somewhat of a complex circumstance, right? I will tell you that paid services are going to most likely really try to uncover everything that they could possibly find with you to get you service connected for, including secondaries. And why? Well, the reason why is kind of almost twofold. The main reason is because they are incentivized to get you the maximum increase possible. Okay, so that's the number one spot. The number two spot is they understand that the back pay aspect is going to basically be their, I guess, funding stream. So you're a little less hesitant in trying to deal with that, right? You get whatever it is, $30,000 in the bank, and you owe them 10. Well, here's your 10. Let's move on. So I think that utilizing an organization that's paid is going to be incentivized to really do a little digging and exploration with you. Now, it's not saying that a non-paid representative or even yourself is not going to do that. It's really just going to be dependent upon bandwidth. Either you as yourself, if you're filing your own claims, the bandwidth of knowledge, right, is going to play a factor. And then for a non-paid representative, accredited representative to help you, what happens is their bandwidth might be, they have, a line of 1,000 people trying to come through the door. They're going to help you with what you need, right? In that moment, what you want. They're going to help you with what you want. Let's put it that way. I want to file a claim for my bad back and my tinnitus. Okay, cool. Back strain, tinnitus. Let's get that filed. Off it goes. Sweet. See you later. They're not going to, if they're super busy, they're not going to help you with what you need. For example, okay, so your back's messed up. Let's say that you have sleep issues. Do you have sleep issues? Do you have problems sleeping because of your back? Okay, great. Let's get that down there. Your tinnitus, does that cause you migraines? And have this kind of back and forth dialogue to figure out other things that they could potentially get for you. They may, I guess, neglect doing that just because they are so reactive because of their immense workload, because let's go upstream, they're underfunded, right? So the county or the state is not funding that specific organization enough to be able to serve you if it's a county employee, or it's a veteran service organization like a VFW DAV, which maybe they just don't have the ability to provide more, right? So that, if you have a complex situation that you can't file yourself, and you're just too hesitant, you're not sure what to do, you're not even sure what you can claim, you don't have the evidence that you need, well, you might want to consider it, right? The other reason, or not the other reason, but the opposite of that would be why you wouldn't want to. Presumptive conditions. If you have a presumptive condition, don't ever pay to do that, because it is a very simple one to file. You can do it yourself. You can find a loved one to help read through the fine print if you need to figure it out. Watching these videos, that type of stuff is fairly easy. You can do it online. Presumptive conditions remove the need for the nexus. That is the link between the condition and your time in service. In my opinion, that is typically the biggest reason for denial, is lack of a nexus, lack of proving to the VA that your condition either manifested during service or is a result of service. That is the biggest reason why folks are denied, followed by lack of medical evidence, right? You didn't supply a diagnosis or what have you. So the presumptive conditions remove the need for the nexus. So all you need to do is prove that you served wherever they say you need to have served and have that condition that's on the presumptive list. For example, let's say you're a Vietnam veteran, served in Vietnam, right in the middle of it all. So you have Agent Orange as a basically conduit of all kinds of issues. Now, let's say that you, 5 years ago, filed for hypertension but were denied because the VA said that it wasn't service connected. Well, now, let's fast forward, whatever it was now, a year and a half or whatever, the PACT Act went into effect and included hypertension, that's that high blood pressure, included hypertension as a presumptive condition for you, a Vietnam veteran. So now it's a situation where now it will be approved as long as you served in Vietnam in this scenario, right? There's other areas that fall under this, but in my example, the Vietnam vet in the middle of it all, hypertension, now you will qualify. It's very easy to file that claim. You would file that claim on a supplemental claim form and supply the proof of your service in Vietnam and supply proof of your hypertension, and they will rate you service connected for that condition. Now, it seems like it's going to be more difficult because I was denied before and now it's this big problem. No, the law changed and now it's very easy. But the VA is not going to do it for you. You need to refile the claim. You need to file again for hypertension under the supplemental claim. So that would be a reason why you would not want to file through a paid service, because it's really easy. That kind is really easy. There's no real work involved, that type of stuff. So, I'd love to hear the comments. I'm not here to bash anybody. It's sometimes there's a need, sometimes there's not. More often not, in my opinion. And I don't know. If I personally had a paid service, I think that I would structure it not that steep on the cost side. It seems like it's a bit much, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. So if you hung on till now, please put in your thoughts on it. And if you've ever used one of those services, for somebody who there is no other option and you can't figure it out yourself, that could be a life-changing event. Sure, yeah, it cost me, but now I'm rated 100% and moving on. So, it's everything is with the grain. With that, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.